big message, right?
Oh, there you go. Good boy. Huh? So, now I'm just chasing him.
Okay, there we go.
Do you have the camera on the round pen?
It's on you, actually. We're panning in. Good. Okay. See how he's moving around that feeder?
Yeah.
Okay. All he's trying to do is avoid you a little bit, and that's okay. I mean, that's kind of normal, right? There you go. Ease up. Yeah, and just gently put your hand out, let him sniff you. Just as you did this morning. Yeah, he's much calmer than he was this morning, so that's good. Now reach towards his shoulder, neck and shoulder, right where his neck meets his shoulder, and just kind of stroke him like you did before this morning. There you go. That's okay. Good. His neck, onto his neck. See how he's kind of in a neutral position where there you go. Easy. Nice. Right there. Now you've made the connection. And watch his ears. See how he's relaxed? Good. Good job.
Good boy. Oh,
and
good boy.
Yeah, just do what you did this morning now.
That is right. Boy. Hang out here for a second. Just live.
Excellent. Now, just as a safety precaution, you see where you got the rope down closer to his shoulders? Bring that rope up behind his ears, so that if he is to take off on you, you can control him by controlling his neck a little bit more. And if you get it down on his shoulders, he can just pull that away from you, and then we would start to cause a problem with him jerking away from you.
Okay.
There you go. Excellent. Now you can grab both of those, and you can actually pull his head around just like that. Yes. Good job.
So, question about the lag. Did you just now see me move that lead rope?
Yes. Now you're grabbing the halter, and you're slipping on his nose now, and you just pulled it over, and you're meeting the buckle with the strap.
Oh, okay. I just So there's maybe a 10 second delay.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let's do, just as an experiment here, I think the thing to do is we need to, I'd like to see how much of a delay. So when you face the camera, that you got, to me, you're guiding, you're stroking him. Face the camera and hold up every second, go 1, 2, and every time pick up your fingers. So 1 finger, 2 fingers, 1,000, 3 fingers. So we can kind of get an idea how much of a delay is there, so I can see that.
And talk and speak at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Keep
4,
going.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There's one. Okay, we got about a 10, 11 second delay.
Okay. We can work with that.
We can do that. Yep. We'll just have to know what's going on.
Still doesn't touch the screen.
Okay, I hear you going through the gate now.
Oh, well. You don't see me going through it yet, though.
Yeah, now I see you just about to go through it. There the gate's opening, and you're walking through.
Okay.
And now you're starting to swing the gate and close it now. So, yeah, we got a little delay. Well, it'll be interesting to do this. We'll just work through it, and having an idea right now about how much of a delay we have is going to be helpful.
Well, I'm just speaking to you from the future then.
Yes.
So I'm gonna leave this pen and not use the arena, so it might get kind of cracked.
Okay.
Forewarn you.
Okay, that's all right.
Ready? I won't let Lonza hurt you. Good boy. Boy. He's not quite crowding me as much.
Good.
But not terribly.
Oh, good job. Yeah, he's stopping. Now, he doesn't bump into you either, did he, when you stop?
No, and he hasn't kicked my heels or anything.
Okay. Now, you're going to come past, you probably have already come past the edge of the shed there when we got Dave there, so he may spook.
All right. We leave the whip in. I guess I don't really need the whip. I don't really use it.
Yeah, not yet. We'll try it without it. You only use it if you need it as an extension of your arm to make him move, or if you have to discipline him and make him go faster, it's better to do it with that because he's being resisted, and you don't want to get your body in there because he can kick out.
Okay.
As a matter of, just saying, no, I don't want to, and he'll kick with a hind. So you want to be able to maintain that distance for your safety.
One thing I've noticed that's interesting is walking through a gate with him rather than walking through a gate with a finished horse.
Yes.
I can hold my hand out with a finished horse, and I'll keep walking and turn around. And he stops as soon as I stop, which I guess is, to me, seems like a good thing. He just hasn't learned that, but it's still interesting.
Well, but you got to remember, what have we been asking him to do for you? And that is, when you stop, he stops and stays away from you, right?
Yeah.
So what we need to work on right now is to go ahead and work him in the round corral, have him listening to you, turning both directions, and then we'll work on these turns. And what we'll do is we'll after we are done doing some turn stops and working with him, we will re-halter him, and then we'll work on some of these turns on the hinds, which will help you to get him to turn away and through a gate. Because these are basic things. You're right. There's something you notice right away, and he's not doing. So what do we need to do to something he needs? We make him do it.
Yep.
We got to teach him. We got to teach him how. So that's a great observation on your part. Really good observation. And as you work with him more, he's gonna become more and more familiar with his surroundings in the round corral. It won't take as much time for him to have to kind of look at where he's at. He's familiar with it. He knows it. You notice he's already just kind of looking around outside.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is if every time you let him go explore or if eventually you just get right to work.
Yep, just get right to work. Just watch him, and if he needs, for some reason, to look around, that's fine. But what he'll also do is he'll look around to avoid work.
Okay. So right now, we'll see in 10 seconds, he's already immediately putting his head down to the ground.
Yep, okay.
Still kind of quivering his bottom lip.
Yeah, so he's experiencing the same anxiety that he had this morning, which is normal. That's okay.
So there's a difference, definitely, but it's like a very subtle difference. Them putting their head down to find the escape route and putting their head down after they come in.
That's right. Yep. Because if they're looking to get out, they're going to try to lay their head sideways and see if they can squeeze out of there.
Okay. And you assess that also with looking at their other body language? Like
yes.
The lips?
Yeah, and really you'll see more overt, and I would call it an escape attempt at the least. The body language of the mouth will be a little bit less dramatic than it will the whole body, because they'll really stick their head out and down and try to look for a spot to get out. and he's kind of just exploring what I'm seeing right now.
Good boy.
Okay. Now, are you still stopped, standing?
Nope, I just turned him, actually.
Okay.
Without you.
Next time when you stop him and you're in the middle of the trail, instead of kind of cutting him off, just step straight back from the place where he was at, and it's going to look like he's going to come around you to one side of whichever side you're going, but he will come and cut himself off. So what we're looking at, or what I saw, was that you were starting to turn your back in the same direction he was going, and you're kind of going backwards in a circle, if that makes sense, instead of stepping straight back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Because all you want to do is just take the pressure off of him when he moves. There you go. I saw you. Him.
Good boy. He pretty much did that off. I mean, I took a step back. I didn't think that he saw me, but then I said, "Ho," and he stopped right when I said that.
Okay, I'm seeing that now. That's really good. And then he turned and looked at you, and you praised him. I heard you praise him. Excellent. And you only took about a half a step back, and that's, if you had to, you could keep going straight back 2 or 3 steps if he didn't stop, and let him come to you, and it will pressure himself up to you instead of you trying to step behind him.
Boy. Okay. So you're still, and if it came to that, you'd still be cutting him off, but using a different process.
That's right. He would be moving towards you and putting pressure on himself instead of you putting the pressure on him, because he's continuing to move around the corral and stop as he comes closer to you.
Okay.
So then he's applying the pressure on his own instead of you doing it, which is very important, because he'll figure out, hey, if I don't want to have pressure, I better stop right away.
Yeah.
Very subtle. It's a very subtle difference, but it makes a lot of difference in his mind. Remember, you got to think like a horse, and how he would respond and how it would feel to you.
So I didn't, you'll see, in fact, I didn't turn him. He turned on his own.
Okay. If he turned on his own, but you didn't ask him and he doesn't realize that, go with it. Don't worry about it. Okay, yep, I saw that. Excuse me.
Boy.
Yeah, there are going to be times when they move just before you are going to do something, and if it's acceptable, go ahead and go with it as if you had asked them to do it. They don't know necessarily the difference.
Okay. Oh. Good boy. He thought about it when I asked him, and kind of thought that he was hearing things.
Very good.
Oh boy. Good boy. Come on, buddy. Boy.
Okay, I'm seeing you turn him toward you right now, and he started to turn and you didn't. He didn't move, and then you stepped to the side of him and then pushed him towards the center. That was absolutely perfect. That's great body language.
Okay. He's super smart. I mean, he's anticipating what I want from him. When I said so earlier, he looked at me kind of and thought, well, I think I should stop, but I didn't see any body language, so I'll keep walking. And then I stepped back. Ooh.
Yeah, and that stepping back reinforce what you were asking for because it took more pressure off, right?
Yeah. And it's really neat how you process that verbal stand note.
Yes. Yeah, and it doesn't take long, but it's important is that you're being consistent about it.
So I just turned him, and he turned his hind end towards me.
Okay. Don't lift. Okay. Yes, he did, and the reason why is you pushed his shoulder, and that's. I was going to say if you had him turn towards you, at one point I'm going to have him turn away from you, but what you did is you stepped over in front of him instead of away from him, and that pushed his shoulder over because you actually turned him, and his hind end has got to come towards you in order to turn away from you. So you put pressure right on his shoulder instead of backing away from him and getting against the rail and letting him have the whole corral in which to turn.
Oh.
And that's really what you want to do to affect the turn away from you, is to push that head or the shoulder away.
Good boy. I didn't even have to step back that time.
Good.
Good boy.
Now, Taryn, there will come a time when the whole idea is that you stand in one spot in the center of the corral, and without even looking at him, just standing still. Oh, excellent turn. Yes, I see what you mean. Good job. You'll stand still, and he will go around you, even behind you, and keep moving at the same speed without stopping until you change command.
Oh.
We're a ways away from that, but it will happen.
Oh. Kind of ignores me on this side a little bit.
Is it his near side or off side?
It's his near side.
Okay. So he's getting a little familiarization with you. I see him, he's working his tail a little bit. See how he was flipping that tail back and forth a little bit.
Okay.
Just before you stopped him. And so he's getting a little bit irritated.
Oh. Why is he getting irritated?
Well, because he's getting familiar with it. Now you push him away from his shoulder. I'll tell you, let's do this. And the irritation is nothing more than just normal frustration. So it's nothing to be concerned about, but just realize that what he's going through in his head is he's like, I don't want to have to do this. And it's okay. So let's get to a spot where you just have him stop, and I'm going to tell you how to position your body to turn him towards you.
Okay. Maybe I should have him go the other way since that's the harder direction to turn.
It doesn't matter. You're going to have to do them both ways anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I see is that he's standing along the rail looking out, and he's going to come to you. Now, go ahead and back up towards the rail. Just back away from him.
You walk forward. Good boy.
Okay. Now, now I'm seeing him walk forward. So what you want to do is continue to move towards the rail and point in the opposite direction. Have him move towards the inside.
Good boy. Gosh, he thought about spooking back there a minute ago and decided he didn't need to. It's pretty cool.
Oh, good. Yes. Now, you see, you gave him a cue. Oh, absolutely great job, because when he made the turn, then you moved back to the center to push him on the rail and around you, and now he's got a nice controlled walk around. And I see him, he might get to the spot where you told me he was going to maybe try to spook. And okay.
He's blinking really hard.
Very good. And he keeps turning and looking toward you.
Good boy. I think I make a mistake by confusing him turning in with him wanting to cut corners, and he's not cutting corners, but I keep thinking he's going to.
Right. What he's actually doing, if you watch, is he is watching you, and he's following his body around. As he's turning you, he follows his body, right? So he's naturally going to cut across that. And so we kind of got a good thing, bad thing going here. He's not intentionally cheating you. What he's doing there. See, when he walks toward, or when he looks towards you, he naturally pulls his body in as if you were having him come with you earlier, like we practiced. So he's not deliberately cheating you. He's kind of cheating by default because he's turning and looking at you. He's much more attentive to you, as what I see, because he's not looking.
Okay. Oh. Good boy. And I before was sending him back out when he did that. Good boy. And then when I realized that, I kind of felt bad that I felt like I was disciplining that behavior when actually he was turning in. So what do you do about that when he is following his body and cutting corners but not meaning to cheat?
Just what you did. You realized that, and it didn't feel right to you. So that's part of that intuition you have. That's very good. That so you don't discipline him for that. Just continue to work through that and understand that he's going to cheat you a little bit, but it's unintentional. Okay, you're doing really good. What I'd like to see you do now is speed him up into a trot, and then have him move and just trot and stop.
I'm gonna have to do that in a second because I tried turning him, as you'll see in a sec.
Okay, that's fine.
Which he's still not wanting to do it this direction. I can do it really quietly without moving in the other direction. Is it because he doesn't want to turn his far side towards me?
Yep, that's normal. So go ahead, do just what you were doing. I saw you start to move towards his head a little bit off to the side, and you want to do that more. You want to back away and then kind of slide along the rail, like you're trying to slip in between him and the corral rail.
Wow, I really had to go way over. Good boy. Before he turned.
Yep, that's not uncommon. That's perfect. You did that absolutely perfectly. Yes, good job. I'm seeing it now. That's just exactly right. And sometimes you have to do that because you have to start with that cue very overtly and very large and very broken down, so that you get in all of that corral in which to work. But as he gets better at that with your body language, he will pick up on that, and you'll be able to do that from the center of the corral and hardly move maybe but a step. Okay. But we'll get to that point. That was a great turn, though, by the way.
Okay. I'm seeing some more tail squishes.
Yep. So what we want to do is we want to change that up a little bit and just speed him up. And he may flip that tail as he's trotting, too. We want to trot him 2 or 3 times around and then stop him.
Man, it's so incredible how light he is. He's chattering his teeth.
Is he chattering his teeth as he's trotting?
Yeah.
Is it a relaxed chatter?
Well, no. His head tight. He keeps wanting to break back into the walk, and then he kind of spurts forward instead of carrying in that gait.
Yep, that's okay. He's just inconsistent. That's all right. It's your job to move him so that he stays consistent.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm seeing is it's better. You're getting there. Make it nice and consistent, and moving at exactly the same speed that you have chosen. Not slow down even a little bit, and not speed up even a little bit. So your awareness of how his muscle is moving, how his feet are moving, how much they're moving is all important so that you can maintain a reference of speed and holding in that speed.
This is a little harder than last time.
Yep, I'm not surprised. Because he's starting to get familiar with it. If he stopped and you got right on him, that's great. You're just still a little bit inconsistent on the speed, but that'll come. We're working on you too to see his awareness, and that's all right. You'll get there.
Yeah, he's chattering his teeth again.
And is it a loose chatter, or they just happen to be popping as he's moving with each step?
No, it's like one deliberate pop.
Okay. So just a little anxiety then. He's not relaxed, it's anxiousness. Okay, see how he's slowed down? I'm watching you slow down and he's just walking. Okay. What we need to do is to make sure that when you're moving him in a trot, he stays in that trot. If he begins to just a little bit slow down, get on him and make him get right back up into that speed. Never let him fully slow down. And then when you're ready, when you got him consistently going around the corral, maybe twice, then stop him. Okay, I saw you stopped and you made him go.
Oh, now we're getting it. I think I needed to back off a little bit.
Were you getting ahead? It looked like maybe you're getting ahead of him a little bit. Yeah, I think you were. Yeah, okay, now I'm seeing him starting to move a lot more fluidly. Yes. That's good.
Good boy. Big sigh.
Oh, excellent. Good sigh. I see him looking at you.
Good boy. Good boy.
Looks like he was chewing.
Yeah, he was chewing. He's still doing his little lip quiver, but he's
Yep.
chewing, sighing, and he's blinking.
Okay. Good. Now we'll just let him sit for a moment and let him be calm, and then I'll have you turn towards you, or him towards you, and do the same thing the other direction. Only this time, when you do that, make sure you keep him at a really good trot and really maintain a very accurate speed.
Okay. Did you see what he just did?
Yeah, I did. Anxiety. He's yawning, right?
Well, no, he didn't yawn. He was like chewing and moving his tongue around and opening his mouth really wide. And
okay, yep. It's anxiety. He's releasing anxiety out of his body. It's okay. It's just angry. Have you ever seen anybody get really anxious, and then once they start to relax, they start yawning?
Yeah.
That's the same type of thing he's doing. He's very oral in his communication like that. He's probably on the upper scale of all of that oral communication we talked about. He's doing that a lot, and he's got a lot to release, and that's good when he's doing that. He sighed. He was chewing. I saw him, opening his mouth, and just all of that movement, the tongue movement. That's all really good processing and releasing of anxiety and energy.
Okay. So one other thing I wanted to ask you is, it looks like, I don't know if you can see from the camera, but it looks like he, when horses take a big drink of water and they hold it in their mouth.
Yeah.
He looks like that.
Okay.
Facial muscles are flexed and his eyes are closed.
Yep. When they do that, and that lower chin is kind of tight.
Yeah.
Sorry, lips are tight. Yes. Then he's anxious. That's still part of that anxiousness and the just tightness and anxiety.
Okay.
And we'll work through it. That's just normal. So when you turn him and have him move the other direction, and we'll have him trot 3 or 4 times around there consistently, and then just ask for a really good stop and kind of say whoa and then back up quickly so that he has a really good stop.
Okay.
You did a great turn again, by the way. Very good.
Yeah.
That was great. Okay, I hear you kissing to get him to move. If he doesn't move when you kiss, then really get up, go, and you kiss and drive him, and then don't kiss anymore. Because if you kiss all the time, then what you're going to do is teach him that he doesn't have to listen to it. It'll become meaningless to you. So you got to make sure that there are consequences to him not listening to you.
Okay. Oh, it worked.
Aha, good, good. Yes, I see it now. See the difference?
Yeah.
Much more consistent.
Jeez. Oh, boy. I don't even have to back up.
Good.
So you want me to do a quick turn then?
Yeah. Do a good stop, and then you want to turn him, praise him, have him follow you around.
Oh, okay. I kind of goofed that up then.
That's okay. You know what? I was late to instruction on you too. That's all right.
So since I started turning him, I should ask him to turn. Finish it.
Sure. Yep. Finish it. Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
So he really, that was hard.
Yeah, I see you going towards him. Just drive that shoulder. Just drive him around. Very good. Okay, so now he's made the turn. I'm watching you make the turn. And yeah, you were just a little slow on pushing him because we were undecided, and I understand that. But
okay.
yeah, but you pushed towards his shoulder, and that was great.
Ooh.
And I hear you stopping him. So now's the time to drop your whip and then go up and make contact with him once you stop, and pet him, and then have him try to follow you around the corral.
Good boy. Ooh. Good boy. Ooh.
Yeah, you stopped him with his off side to you, which is great. Because remember, that's the hardest side.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, okay, you're making contact. Oh, yeah. Now, he just kind of jumped a little bit, but only because the dog ran behind him. You know, and these training, really, they're kind of frustrating at times because you have distractions. But in the overall scheme of things, those distractions are very important because you want the horse to have distractions, yet work in spite of the distractions. So that was really good. Okay, so I take off. Okay, it looks like you drove him away because he didn't come with you, right? Or just jumped away from you?
Yeah, because he bolted.
Yep.
Is that good?
That's good. You're doing exactly what you should. Just put him to work a little bit, and then stop and try it again.
Ooh. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. It's okay. Ooh. Ooh. Good. Good boy. Boy.
All right. Look how much quicker you could approach him and touch him now.
Yeah.
That was very good. And I've seen you.
I feel like I'm being a little bit unclear when I approach him because I don't want to approach him too fast.
Right.
But I don't want to approach him too slow and feel like I'm being sneaky.
Right.
So there's a little bit of an in-between that I think is still missing.
Well, and what you have to do is base that speed on his reaction. If you're coming at him and he starts to move away, it's a little too fast. If you're going to him and he's not doing anything, then that gives you the opportunity to speed it up until he starts to move away. So you're teaching him that you can approach faster and faster without him moving away.
Ooh, it's real skittish right now. He's fine with me. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it's fine with me touching. I mean, I can tell he's leaning away. His muscles are tight, and then when I started, I lost you. Hold on. When I started using my right hand to pet him, he's pooping again.
Okay.
He's very distracted. He's looking out at the pasture, and there's a wheelbarrow. But he's not looking at the ball.
He's starting to check out and avoid you a little bit. So when he does that, you want to get his attention before you can really do anything with him, because if his attention is not focused on you, then there isn't much you can do. Yeah, I see him looking out across there. Exactly. So you need to get his attention back and then see if he will just follow you. Even if he doesn't move, but he just turns and follows you with his head, that's where we want to kind of stop him at that moment. Oh yeah.
Good boy.
Excellent. I'm seeing him come with you. Yes. Okay. Now is the moment. What we want to do, since he's following you around, is go ahead and stop. We'll stop the lesson at this point for moving around and what we're calling free driving. And then just grab his halter and put the halter on him, and we'll do some really short turns on the hinds and fores.
Okay, so he followed me, then distracted himself with the whip, and then put himself out on the rail.
That's okay. Let him go, because what we're doing is we've put a lot of pressure on him, and we're working him fairly hard mentally, because we're changing a lot of things and doing a lot to him. So just let him go, and then stop him, praise him for stopping, and then we'll go grab the halter and come back to him.
Okay. Oh. Good boy. So I shouldn't, good boy, redo the whole process of touching him and having him follow me. I should just go straight for the halter.
Right, because what you're going to do now is you're going to walk up to him with the halter, because you're still going to approach again. You're going to praise him when you approach, and then you're just going to put the halter on him.
Okay.
Just change it up.
Good boy. No. Good boy. Oh, that was much better. And should I wait for him to turn into me before I put the halter on, or should I just take advantage of this moment?
Just take advantage of the moment.
Okay. Good boy. That's funny. That's funny guy. Good boy.
Very good. Okay, so you took him to the center of the corral. That's excellent. And you're continuing to rub his neck and shoulder. And then, yeah, you're coming around in a circle. And, yeah, just have him turn right on his forwards just like you're doing. Kind of face him a little bit more. Face his flank when you do that, so that you're actually pushing him away with your body.
boy.
There you go. See how he moves it? Did you feel how that worked when he moved away from your body?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you faced him, so we tend to project our energy out in front of us, and they feel that. So when you walk up to his flank or his side, he should move away from that, and if he doesn't, then just imagine that energy just pushing out further and touching it and pushing it away. Very good. Very good. And you can work a little bit away from his shoulder and more towards his belly, because that'll help give you some more familiarization with him, and he'll get more comfortable with you being back there. And by doing this, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to teach him to move away from us, but we're going to cause a problem by doing this, by teaching him this, and it's really a minor thing that we're teaching him to move away, and there's going to come a point when we want to be back there, so we have to undo what we've done and really make him learn to stand for us too. But it's all going to be about the context in which we're asking, and they get it. They figure it out in a hurry.
So I just turned him on his far side, standing at his shoulder and facing his hindquarters, and he pivoted, and then when I moved closer to his belly, he stopped.
Okay.
And stood there.
Yeah. He got used to the movement, and it was no longer a force on him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you try to push on his shoulder, and you're going to be between his shoulder and his neck to push that front end away and get him to turn on his hinds once you're done with his force.
Okay. Just pushing on it.
Yeah, and just with your energy, just walk into it, and you may need to reach up and touch him to get him to move.
Yeah, he doesn't really listen to my energy with this.
He's not as sensitive on the front end.
What's that?
He's not as sensitive on the front end as he is on the hind end.
No.
And that's very common. It's much harder for them to turn on their hinds than it is on their fores. And as you do that, you're going to find out you're going to have to kind of walk in front of him a little bit to get him to continue to move. There, I'm watching you. Yes. I'm watching you do it. You've already made it probably a decent turn. And he may try to get away from you.
Boy. I got better the more I poked him instead of pushed him.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay.
He just wants to back up in this direction.
Yeah, and that's why you got to kind of push him forward a little. Yes, push him forward a little bit, bring him forward, and then push him over. You're doing great. I'm watching you kind of get him against the wall or the rail, and where he can't back up anymore. So we'll have to work on that where he isn't feeling pressured to back away from you. And you're pushing around. You're doing great.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Taryn, what I really like about this is everything is very controlled. And that's very, very important that we're not, it's not getting super excited, because some horses are. They get really excited, and you got to kind of maintain that composure with them, yet teach them. And we had a little moment there with the dog that, he's like, I'm not sure about that. And you kind of have to give a small start, but he stopped. He didn't do anything. That's great.
Oh, now he's doing it without me touching him.
Good, good. That's what we want. We want him to respond to you, to your body, and not to your hands. And that's that lightness. Yes, I'm seeing it now. Very good. What I like is that I was going to ask you to drop the rope a little bit, and so you're not tight on him, and you've already done that. That's perfect. Absolutely.
He still seems a little, earlier he was really, like a lot. He's just a lot more anxious this time around. Even, he hasn't yet swapped his head or licked chewed since I've been up by him, petting him.
Well, and you're a little bit more familiar with what's going on, and you're giving him more tactile stimulation to praise him. So he's not quite as anxious, and that's okay. He will sometimes bottle that up for a moment or for a while until you let him alone, and then he'll start licking and chewing again. Some of them are different. Some of them do it in real time. It just depends on the horse.
Okay.
Oh, good job. Great. I'm watching you turn him. Let him have that rope. Yeah, don't hold him. And then just kind of push him around. That's a fantastic job. You're doing great. What's really important about this is that you're very, very controlled.
Sorry, I missed that. My earbud keeps falling out.
What's very important is that you're doing everything very controlled. You're not having to try to calm him down.
Okay.
And you got to remember, this is the second session. This is fantastic. You're doing great.
So a lot of that's just his personality.
It is. But you know what? You can take even a very calm horse, and in a situation like this where it's a new environment, and you can do things too quickly, too much, and you can cause them to blow up, and you haven't done that. You've maintained that composure. That's about you. He's reflecting what you're doing.
So he's listening to my energy a lot, and that I'm not being irrational.
Right.
So he's still skittish, but I'm not reacting to that.
No, exactly. You kind of ignore it and don't make a big deal of it, and he won't. So yeah, move him around a little bit. And remember how you were walking before and stopping and backing up? Go ahead and do that, and then we'll end the session because he's went through a lot where you feel how he's kind of getting a little sticky. He's not wanting to quite move like you want him to.
Yeah.
I can see it. So it's time to quit. It's time to end the session and end on a really good note where there's no problems and you have him keep your space. And we are on our way. We'll call it good for the night.
Great. One end note, even though he's showing signs of anxiety, like with his lips quivering, do you still feel like that's okay for an end on that, or should you wait for a big release?
No, it's okay it's okay because you haven't really worked him super hard here. It's okay. He will release and probably sigh when we put him away or on the way back to the pen to put him up for the night. He'll do that on his own at some point, probably.
Want to be done, buddy? All right, bud. Well, he left the gate a lot better that time.
Yes, because you started to teach him how to turn around you, right?
Yeah.
That's what the whole purpose of that. You recognize a problem coming in or leaving his corral and coming in here, and he was doing what he'd been asked to do, and that is stop when you stop and not push you. But we had to try to teach him to turn around you, and that's what we accomplished here. We did the initial work on the turns and the stops and come to you like we tried before, and now we just added to that a solution to a problem that you recognized could be a problem, that he wasn't reacting like a normal finished horse. And so you did that, and look how that responded for a very real solution to a real problem that needs to be done anyway. So you got a win-win-win.
Pretty neat.
Pretty neat, yes.
Hey, buddy. It's cautious of Queen Lonza. Boy. Oh, yeah, he completely turned around me.
Yes, I saw that. I just caught on the tail end of it. Well, I'm moving the camera a little bit here. Very, very good. So it isn't like that was a fluke the first time, right? So he's reinforced. You've reinforced again in a very practical situation what he wants. And now when you put him away, let's do one thing. Let's work on his offside. You're working on his near side. And then swap over to his offside and pet him and make him comfortable over there before we put him away.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to go back to the other side then to take the halter off, but you've worked both sides. It's so important to work both sides so that they respond evenly and equally. But when you do that, you actually have to work a little bit more on the side that he's less responsive on, or allows you to touch more, so that you have to balance him out.
Okay. I have space, buddy.
There you go. You're doing a fantastic job.
I want to ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
So, you get on the horse chair, right? You know how to do this?
No.
Click here, and then start typing. Well, now click right in there, right next to it. Oh. Are you logged in?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you are. Okay, you should be.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there you go. Just say, hi, Paula. No?
It covers the view.
Okay, I'm taking this off.
Okay, that's... See you, yeah?